Hello again, Leo. April 2017, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au, and with Mars transiting that powerful 10th house, Mercury as well, but only for a few days into April, because it moves back out after the 3rd when it moves out on the 10th when it moves into its retrograde motion. So you've still got a little bit of time to make those important decisions while you've got that strong-willed, energetic Mars, very friendly planet to you, making headway in your 10th house of profession, there in the 10th house of the sign of Taurus. As I said, Mercury, the decision-making planet, the communications planet, transiting up there, very close to Mars, but not quite making it. It moves back out of that position, and so some decisions you have, some plans that you've made for your work, some important meetings perhaps that you've got to organise, may have to be rescheduled as a result of that. We also see that that's not the only planet that's doing retrogression. In the very early part of the month, on the 3rd, the planet ruling your career, Venus, makes a retrograde maneuver into the 8th house of shared resources, moving back out from the 9th house. Your rule of the sun is moving through the 9th house. A lot of planets moving in the 9th and the 10th house of the horoscope indicate a re-evaluation of your professional activities. And also with Mercury being up there, there are strong hints at retooling your skills, just improving your abilities in the line of work that you have been in at this time. Mars in the 10th house is notorious for steamrolling others. You've got to be careful that your ego doesn't get the better of you, especially when Mercury comes back around again later in the month. You may start to find that your way of doing things is directly opposed to the way other people want to do things. So you need to be more amenable, more diplomatic in the way you portray what it is that you want. The important thing there too is the retrogression of Saturn, which takes place on April 6th. So you see them in that first 10 days of the month. A lot of things that are about to move forward start to turn around and go the exact opposite way. So this month it's more important to have a really, really carefully laid out plan, so you can figure out exactly what you're going to do, and to also create a bit of a buffer zone for when those planets do go retrograde and some of the decisions or plans or meetings or opinions of others change, because you're gonna have to be on your toes, that's for sure. Saturn, as we see now, is really at the tail end of the other fire sign, which is Sagittarius. Its retrogression back through that 5th house, which has to do with relationships. I've seen this planet a lot when there are some sorts of estrangement with one's children, with one's lover. Saturn is a separative planet, so what that does is it really brings the karma to town. It is one of the principal karmic planets, along with the North Node and the South Node, and rulers of certain houses. But this retrogression shows us that if, for some unfortunate reason, you have been estranged or out of contact with someone in your life, notably a child or a lover, that this could start the process of healing, whereas it brings you back into focus of what it is that had gone on in the past. And under this transit, it's best for you not to focus too much on what the other person has done. I used the example before, many years ago in my previous incarnation. I was heavily engaged in sales. And I remember, even if I used to lose a deal, I would always go back to the client. I knew full well that I'd lost a deal, check had been signed for the competitor, but the client would always be a little surprised that I'd come back after the sale was lost, because usually people just move on, go to the next sale. But there was a very good reason for that, and that was so that I could clearly understand what it was in my presentation that had jeopardised the sale and caused me to lose out. And 9 times out of 10, the client would be more than happy to share that information with me. Now, some of my clients think I'm crazy when I say let's transpose that to what's been happening in your relationships, your friendships. You know, sometimes if a relationship is finished, well, it's over, gone. Well, okay, it's gone, but wouldn't you like to know what it was? Maybe from your end of the equation that contributed to the downfall of that relationship. By understanding that, you're better equipped in future to improve your new relationships or the existing ones that are continuing. So that, I think, has a lot to do with the transit of Saturn in your 5th house, along with the other planets. A lot of retrogression going on. Indeed, important for you to retrospectively go back and own up. By doing that, you'll free yourself, you'll educate yourself, you'll intuitively understand what it is you have to do to really start improving your relationships from here on in. There's a new moon taking place in the sign of Taurus. As I said, that takes place on the 26th. That's an important one to finish the month off. It is one that gives you the drive and the confidence to make the appropriate changes after all these retrograde planets have been doing their business. So revisionary month, and certainly time to step up along with Mars and that new moon in your 10th house this month, April 2017. And don't forget, you can, this is the usual spiel I give at the end, as you know, pop into my website. I've got to throw that in. Come on. Astrology.com.au. Get a little bit more information on yourself, and you've got to come back next month. I look forward to your company then. Bye-bye.